Look, business ultimately is pretty simple. It's not easy. I mean, fuck, it's actually hard as shit, but it is simple. You make something, you present it to people using marketing, you then convert attention into leads, leads into sales, and finally you deliver on your promise by actually making a great product. Despite this though, in the high ticket services world, most people get stuck in one place. They know how to make content, they know how to do the thing that they say they can do, but for some reason they cannot figure out how to turn attention into sales. And look, here, hands up over here, I was in the same boat 12 months ago. I was posting content for my SMMA agency, and you know what, despite us making 40K per month, we just didn't have a consistent lead generation system. That was until I started using the cheat code, the same cheat code to automating lead flow that made guys like Alex Hormozy and Sam Ovens their initial wealth. Again, don't take it from me, here's old Samwise Ovens talking about it.
Another example is, instead of just relying on people to email you or stumble across your stuff, create a funnel, create a system. So in my business, I mastered Facebook ads. That's where I got most of my traffic from. I wanted to be the best at that thing. And I didn't focus on anything else. I just shut off everything else and got good at that. Then I needed a funnel to really take that traffic and convert it into customers. And instead of building a bunch of funnels, I built one. And I've honed and refined one funnel for like 4 years. And I've put thousands of hours of effort into one funnel. And that's a system. Now I've got two systems working together, like I know Facebook ads like no one else, and then funnels like no one else. So then these two things together, hard to replicate. Most people don't have the discipline or the relentless single-minded focus. No, not many people are willing to put 5 years into one thing, right? That's what gives you an advantage. Most people are only willing to put a day or a week of work into something. Like sometimes I'll put 12 hours a day of work for 4 years straight into one thing. That's what gives you an advantage, because other people aren't, well, they don't have the guts to do that.
Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to take you through the exact 4-step process that I've used to, on average, turn $1 into 12 over the past 9 months by automating the process of bringing perfect fit leads into my business, and how you can do the same without needing a massive audience. So buckle up, champs. It's time to get down and dirty with another furiously electric whiteboard session. Right, team, let's get into it. So as always, we've got another whiteboard session here, but when you see a whiteboard, you know you're about to see some heat. So let's dive into it. Let's get deep into this whiteboard. So we've got 2 sections. The stuff over here on the right is that's the fun stuff for later. This stuff over here on the left-hand side is stuff that will be familiar to you if you've seen my previous video, the last one that I've made. If you have not seen that, go and watch that one first, because it goes over my entire thesis when it comes to building micro education businesses, or at least this is what is working for me. This is how I'm building my business right now. Who knows, might help you out. And here, just to go over a really high level, so we create content, we convert attention into conversations with people who are interested in our content. We turn those conversations into calls. So we book calls, those calls get converted, a proportion of them get converted into clients, and then we create sales assets after we've done what we say we're going to do with the clients to prove that we are capable. So we get results, feed it into the system, create more content, have more DMs, get on more calls, get more client success, build more sales assets, rinse and repeat. And as we kind of went over in detail over here, one of the core ways that I drive automatic leads to my business is through running very simple, basic advertising on Instagram. Follow me ads. So what are follow me ads? Let's get into it. So like I said, go and watch this video. It's the last video if you want to learn all of the details, understand what all of this shit means. But this is basically my thesis for how to build a micro education coaching or consulting business in 2024. So let's get into this. I call this the AA funnel. So the A, as you can see, there's actually three words of A here, because the truth is that they're both relevant, or all relevant. We've got authority and attraction and automation. I just can't figure out which one is more powerful out of attraction and automation, so I'm just going to keep them that way. I was going to call it the AAA funnel, and I have done that previously, but it just sounds like a battery. It's something about that just sounds like I'm not building a battery business. So cool, this is 4 steps, and the steps are broken down into, and just a quick disclaimer, this is what's working for me. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even think I have to say that, but I'm just saying this may work for you. Who knows? Maybe try it. So we've got step 1, create your reciprocity bank. Step 2, optimize your profile. Step 3, create your ad. Step 4, track your KPIs. So let's dive into it. So over here, we've got the authority part of the funnel. So we have creating your reciprocity bank and optimizing your profile is step 2. So let's talk about step 1, which is part of the authority section or kind of phase of the AA funnel. Obviously, we're in the creator economy, and one of the core elements of building a personal brand, and the point of building a personal brand to be able to sell high ticket, is to prove that you are an authority, a relative authority to the people that you're trying to serve. And one of the best ways to do this is to build what I call a reciprocity bank. Pretty sure I got this from one of my mentors. I can't remember if that's the case. If I did, I don't know who it was, but I really like the way that this kind of explains what it is. So what is a reciprocity bank? One of the core elements of human interaction and influence is this feeling that if I give you something, you then need to give me something in return, and that is reciprocation. And therefore, this process of building a reciprocity bank is this idea that you are building a bank of content, extremely valuable content, where you give to people for free exactly what this video is. This is a video part of my reciprocity bank, and the person who's viewing it feels like they owe you something because it's so good. And that is the intent on this video. So the question is what do you make content on? So the way I teach this to our students at CreatorLaunch is I call these the hot 7 topics. So these are the 7 biggest challenge areas of your ideal customer. And if you are someone who's I don't know, you're coaching, you're a consultant in your niche, you have to question what are the top 7 topics that have challenges for your ideal customer. So for me, I'm going to try and remember them off the top of my head. For my ideal customer, my niche, which is business coaching and consulting, sales, marketing, content, and personal branding, that's in the same one, operations, finance. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to remember these last 2 now. This is why my memory sucks. And scaling, tracking, and reporting. Those are 7. Okay. And those are the 7 topics that I create content on. And if you go look at my YouTube channel, which we'll go to in a second, you'll see how I do this. So how do you create a reciprocity bank? You can do that with short form content, and ideally long form content as well. So short form content, I do this on Instagram, tips, hacks, lessons, and series. That's a really great way of showing that you know what you're talking about, which is creating content in the form of a series. So for me, recently, I did a series on top 7 sales hacks or top 8 sales hacks. And that was a video every couple of days with a neat little sales hack. Long form, which I also call sales assets. So this is a form of a sales asset. So showing that I know what I'm talking about. These can be demos, interviews, masterclasses, interviews. The key idea is that you just make slightly different variants every 3 months. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Show that you know every spoke of the wheel in your niche by just talking about it endlessly. Don't try and be cute with it. So you can see if you go to Instagram, I've just got a load of stuff which is all talking about my hot 7. Then also on YouTube, I've specifically spoken about topics that are related to the top 7 challenges of my niche. So you can go check it out and see exactly how I'm doing it. Okay, next is step 2, which is optimizing your profile. This is specifically on Instagram, which is where I do my lead generation. This also, optimizing your profile goes for any social media channel. So step 2 is optimizing your profile, high impact, valuable content, and that is just a fucking typo. Okay, that can just go. So optimizing your profile is made up of 6 parts. So the bio optimization, pinned posts, story highlights, links, and this is for you. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, and please leave a comment telling me where you are struggling so I know exactly what video to make next time. So thank you very much for that. Let's get into it then. So bio optimization, again, just go and look and see what I'm doing on my bio. So bio optimization includes the name, which is personal. In my opinion, it is dumb to use like business names, you know, like Apex Digital or whatever, or like whatever the fuck. You're a person. Build a personal brand. Therefore, you have a name. So use it. Your parents named you, use it. So have a personal name, and you can see I've added into my name, #1 business coach for consultants. Just a note on this, when I heard that you could change your name to anything, I changed it to this, and then I was like, I changed it to something like #1 business coach as a joke. And then I changed it again a few minutes later to #1 business coach for consultants as a joke, with the intention to just putting it back to Tom Young's. And then I went to change it again, and Facebook said, no, you can only change your name twice within 6 weeks or something. And therefore I just kept it. So yeah, I'm #1 business coach for consultants, and guess what? I'm going to fucking claim it, because there ain't no one out there scoring. Okay, so name, personal, and SEO optimized. So the reason that is potentially a good thing is that Instagram is a search engine, and if people are searching for business coaches on Instagram, yeah, boy, it might pop up. Call to action. So immediately at the top line of my my bio, I'm giving a call to action, which is DM me launch to land high ticket clients. So the benefit of potentially working with me immediately, plus a CTA. Next is who you help. So I help coaches and consultants, and how I help them scale with micro education businesses, which is my unique mechanism. And then another call to action, which is book a free one-on-one game plan call. Simple. So if you haven't booked a one-on-one free game plan call with me yet, go click on the link in my bio on Instagram and let's have a chat. Okay, so next up is pinned posts. In my opinion, the traditional website, the idea of a website for one-person business owners, small businesses that are doing like less than $1 million a month, you don't need a fucking website anymore. What you need is a social funnel where you funnel people through your socials and then onto a landing page with a VSL and testimonials and call to action. Done. You don't need a fucking website with loads of shit. You just need a landing page, VSL, social funnel with pinned posts that are guiding people to call to actions. So let's talk about the pinned posts. Pinned post #1, testimonials and proof. So this is the one I've got on over here on the left. That's just testimonials and proof. Over here is the calls to action, call to actions. So this is a 1.5 minute video, which I'm going to need to refresh soon, but really just guiding people and just welcoming people in to be like, hey, look, if you're new here, if you're just coming onto my profile, and you'll see why, because the ads that we run are getting people to come to my profile to follow me. So the first thing they're going to do is click on the start here video and watch that. So it's an introduction. Go watch it on my video, on my profile. You can go see how I've structured it. It's, hey, I'm Tom, I help these people, I do this. This is a bit of my story. This is how you can connect with me. Go watch my videos on YouTube if you want to learn more. Go sign up for my newsletter, link in, like whatever, go have a look. And then thirdly, pinned post is ideally a unique mechanism or case study. So this is a post, I'm currently in the process of remaking one. So it is a carousel or a video of a case study showing you know what you're talking about, and that showcasing the proof of using your unique mechanism. Again, just go check out what I've done. Next up, we've got story highlights. So testimonials, links to YouTube, sales assets, client wins. So the big ones here is you want to show frequent proof of results from your clients and testimonials from your students or your clients. Whether these are videos, whatever. I use Senja.io to collect my testimonials. Really easy to use. You just send your clients a link. Very quick to make a quick video just on the phone, or type it in, whatever, really quick and easy. And then I've got a YouTube stories, which is where every time I post my new YouTube video, I post it on my stories, and then I tag it in that stories highlight so that people can go click and watch it when they want to. And then finally, client wins. So testimonials, proof, and then client wins. Links. Now this is where, fucking hell, this is where people really fuck up. Think, like I said, so the website is dead. Your social profile is the best way to curate a journey of your ideal, like you curate your ideal customer journey. So the question is what benefit would having 10 links here have? Because all you're doing is you're just giving a shit ton of options and you are not curating the journey of your ideal potential customer. So the question you have to ask is, what would, if someone was here new, if someone was new to me, or I would want them to connect closer to them, what would I like them to do? What one action would I like them to take? This is super common. People just fucking, link trees are the dumbest thing ever. Fuck link trees and all that shit. One link or 2 links, because the second one here is quite clear. It is you can book a call with me, just come and book a call with me. So it's one kind of, let's get them to the next step in the funnel. But if there are people who are just, for whatever reason, just want to jump on a call, which in my experience isn't typically a great thing. There might be a time where I take this off, to be honest, and really guide people through the journey. Because what happens if people just find you and they're like, oh, I'm just going to get on a game plan call with this guy, get on a call, and they don't have a fucking clue who you are. They're like, I don't even know why I booked this call. So like I said, I'm kind of testing this stuff out, but the main thing is that you want to guide them to where you want them to go next. For me, that is joining my free private school community. Got 700 people in there now, maybe more when you're watching this, probably more when you're watching this. So that is where I want to connect more closely with people so they can see my free course, see my free resources, see how I roll, and then I can nurture them with loads of stuff in that community. So that is bio optimization. Is that done? Yeah. Okay, next up, we've got actually creating your advertisement. We keep this damn simple here. You just make a boosted post on Instagram. So you're not running ads through Facebook Ads Manager. You're running them as boosted posts just through your phone. You get the phone out and you go bing, bang, boom, 3 steps, and you have got an ad up. You can either run it as a reel, which is better in my opinion, or a carousel, which does also work. There are people who are making bare money with carousels. So the call to action is follow me and check out all my other content. This is a video of mine, which I've been running as an ad. You can see it's probably had like 250,000 views at this point, and it's been very effective. This is a carousel case study of a unique mechanism of mine, but I haven't run this as a boosted post. But this is an example of a carousel where the style of carousel that you could potentially use, but my preference is always going for video. And this is what you do for the ad script. So who you serve, how they currently feel, the outcome they desire, the unique mechanism that you use to get their desired outcome, why it's different to other things they've tried, timeline that they can expect to achieve results, what makes you an authority, call to action. So one of the things I've tested is making sure the call to action is probably in between 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. So it's quite early on in the video, which is come and follow me. So you're just getting more people who are going to watch that video and potentially follow you. So add the call to action at the end and also in between 3 and 4. Sick. And then finally, we have step 4. Track your goddamn numbers, fam. Because if you're running ads, if you're doing this stuff and you're not tracking your performance, you are just pissing money away. You are acting like an amateur. So it's time for you to act like a professional. So what are we going to track? So these are the metrics that we track. Cost per follow. So this is ideally between $1 and $5 a cost per follow. So that's how much it costs for you to be followed. And this is dependent on the niche. Cost, like the kind of caveat with this is that the lower the cost per follow doesn't necessarily link to the higher quality lead. So there are instances where you actually want a higher cost per follow because then you are getting better targeted, better quality leads that are better fit. So this is something that you test over time. and why you track. So you're going to be changing ads every week, kind of testing new angles, testing new audiences, testing new kind of all of the different things that we've talked about in the ad script. You're testing that stuff out. Cost per profile visit, ideally less than 30 cents is what I found as kind of a benchmark. You're tracking number of new conversations. Who are you having new conversations with? People that follow you, people that like your stuff, and people that comment on your stuff. Okay, simple. Number of inbounds. So how many people give you send you an inbound message based on a call to action that you've put in a post or a story, which is like DM me the word launch if you want to launch your business. Number of follow-ups. The money is in the follow-ups. The money is in the follow-ups. So make sure you follow up with people 3, 4, 5 times. Number of booked calls. So how many calls you book. Number of showed calls. How many people show up to your calls. Number of offers made. So how many people that you actually make an offer to on the call. Number of new clients. Revenue, cash collected, and then there are rates here. So conversion to booked call rate is 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 conversations that you start are going to book onto a call, and this is going to vary based on ad, but this is kind of where we want to get to. You kind of want to be like about 1 in 20 people that you start a conversation with that actually is engaged in a conversation. You want to be booking onto a call, and the more you build your reciprocity bank, the bigger your audience gets, the bigger your personal brand gets, the lower this rate's going to be, and show rate is going to be ideally looking for 80%. And there's a few different mechanisms that I teach, like having a pre-call video sent in the automated Calendly messages so that people get prepped for the call, they know what to expect, and basically told that if they don't show, they're not going to be allowed on another call. Closing rate, industry average for high ticket is between 20 and 30%. So between 1 in 4 and 1 in 5. And this is an indicator that if your closing rate is too high, 50, 60, 70%, your product is too cheap and you need to up your price. And if your closing rate is too low, which at the very beginning when you start your business, expect your closing rate to be low because you are shit at sales, you can't talk about what you do very well, and you haven't put the reps in. So expect at the start to have a really, really, really low closing rate. 1 in 10, 1 in 15, 1 in 20, 1 in 30. The big thing you need to do when you start is just focus on having 30 calls and expecting to close 0. And what in reality will happen is that you'll have 30 calls and you'll close a couple, 3, and you'll learn a shit ton. But that is the first metric that you need to get to. The first milestone you need to get to is just having 30 calls with people. And then return on ad spend. This is return on ad spend of revenue. So ideally we're looking at a 1 in 4 plus. For me, it's been 1 in 12. So I've turned $1 into $12, and that's pretty good. So the question is, how much money do you spend on ads? Well, this is why you track your KPIs, because what ends up happening after a few months is that you have all these benchmark numbers, and then all you have to do is say, okay, I want to make, let's say, 40K per month. And then what you need to do is you need to reverse engineer and say, well, if I want to make $40,000 per month, how much revenue is that? Sorry, how many new clients makes up 40K per month? If it's a 5K product that you're selling, it's 8 new customers. So I need to close 8 new clients. So if my show rate, if my show rate is say 80%, then, and I know that I close, my kind of closing rate is 20, 30%. So let's do this on maths in my head. So if it's, I'm not very good at arithmetic here, but let's try and work this out. So 40K is, let's do this math right here. So 40K, that is 8 new clients. Oh shit. 8 new clients. So let's say closing rate is 20%. So we are doing 8 times so I don't think my maths is going to be good enough on this call right now. I think I need a spreadsheet for this shit. So I do all my maths in a spreadsheet. I'm not going to be able to do this. But my point is that you need to reverse engineer from your top line revenue. You need to figure out how many clients you need to close, how many conversations you need to turn into calls, how many calls you need to have to close a client. So let's say if your closing rate is 20%, top of the head maths here is like, what's 8 times? I really want to do this. 8 times. This is like pressure when you're at school and you have to try and figure this out. So if 8 is 20%, what's 8 times 5? What the fuck is it? I can't do the basic maths. This is just one of my 40. So you need to have 40 calls. So you need to get on 40 calls. So how many conversations do you need to have with people to get on 40 calls? Well, if we're looking at 10%, then you need to be having 400 conversations during a month to convert into that many calls, into that many customers. I'm so glad I fucking got there. Okay, right, redeem myself. But you see what I did there? You start with what you want to make in a month and you reverse engineer. And then what you need to do then is then you figure out how many conversations you need to have. You then need to figure out how much daily ad spend do I need to spend to get to 40K. And, if we look at the return on ad spend, and we're looking at 40K, then we know that to turn 1 into 4, we're going to need to spend 10 to turn into 40. Simple maths. So you then need to divide $10,000 by 30 days to get the targeted daily ad spend. So, okay, that's a load more stuff that the truth is we go into in our launch mastermind. So on that note, if you are a coach, consultant or freelancer, agency owner, looking to build your own microeducation business, if you've made some sales, but looking to consistently and predictably get leads for your business to scale to 10 to 30K plus per month, build a magnetic personal brand in the rapidly growing creator economy, want to build a rock solid scalable infrastructure like we've done for our students, access much more detailed trainings, resources, and 30 plus playbooks, surround yourself with other high performing entrepreneurs, get access to the 4 layers of accountability. So one-on-one coaching and consulting with me, group coaching, our accelerator pods, and the community, then book a call. Book a call through the link down in the bio. Go book a call with me. And if you are not there yet, so if you're not at that level, make sure that you've joined our Skool community. I think we just went over 700 members today, which is sick. And this is just a couple of our students from our launch mastermind. And Jake managed to have a pretty spicy start to the year. That's nearly $50,000 for January, which is pretty sick. Stephen just joined last week and he sold out all of the spots to his retreat that he's doing in the Azores in Portugal in think about 2 months time, which is awesome. So amazing start to the year for him. And so as always, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, because things are going to get very fun, very, very fruity. And if you are looking to really take things to the next level, do book a call, jump on a call with me. We'll have a short call, see what you're up to, see what challenges you've got, and exactly what you need to do to start building and scaling your business. And that is how you automate all this good stuff. And that is nearly half an hour. So, right, ciao, champs. See you next time.